woodpecker hacking and pecking at a hollow tree." "Well, well," said Jack, "I think it would be a piece of fun just to see what it really is." And so off he set to climb the rock, while the others laughed and made game at him. But he didn't care a bit for that. Up he clomb, and when he got near the top, what do you think he saw? Why, a spade that stood there digging and delving. "Good day," said Jack. "So you stand here all alone and dig and delve?" "Yes, that's what I do," said the spade, "and that's what I've done this many a long day, waiting for you." "Well, here I am," said Jack again, as he took the spade and knocked it off its handle, and put it into his wallet, and then down again to his brothers. "Well, what was it so rare and strange," said Peter and Paul, "that you saw up there at the top of the rock?" "Oh," said Jack, "nothing more than a spade. That was what we heard." So they went on again, a good bit till they came to a brook. They were thirsty all three after their long walk, and so they lay down beside the brook to have a drink. "I wonder now," said Jack, "where all this water comes from." "I wonder if you're right in your head," said Peter and Paul in one breath. "If you're not mad already, you'll go mad very soon with your own wanderings. Where the brook comes from, indeed! Have you never heard how water rises from a spring in the earth?" "Yes, but still I have a great fancy to see where this brook comes from," said Jack. So up alongside the brook he went, in spite of all that his brothers bawled after him. Nothing could stop him. On he went. So as he went up and up, the brook got smaller and smaller, and at last, a little way farther on, what do you think he saw? Why, a great walnut, and out of that the water trickled. "Good day," said Jack again. "So you lie here and trickle and run down all alone?" "Yes, I do," said the walnut, "and here have I trickled and run this many a long day, waiting for you." "Well, here I am," said Jack, as he took up a lump of moss and plugged up the hole that the water mightn't run out. Then he put the walnut into his wallet, and ran down to his brothers. "Well now," said Peter and Paul, "have you found out where the water comes from? A rare sight it must have been." "Oh, after all, it was only a hole it ran out of," said Jack, and so the others laughed and made game of him again, but Jack didn't mind that a bit. "After all, I had the fun of seeing it," said he. So when they had gone a bit farther, they came to the king's palace. But as every one in the kingdom had heard how they might win the princess and half the realm, if they could only fell the big oak and dig the king's well, so many had come to try their luck, that the oak was now twice as stout and big as it had been at first, for 2 chips grew for every one they hewed out with their axes, as I dare say you all bear in mind. So the king had now laid it down as a punishment that if any one tried and couldn't fell the oak, he should be put on a barren island, and both his ears were to be clipped off. But the 2 brothers didn't let themselves be scared by that. They were quite sure they could fell the oak, and Peter, as he was eldest, was to try his hand first. But it went with him as with all the rest who had hewn at the oak. For every chip he cut out, 2 grew in its place. So the king's men seized him, and clipped off both his ears, and put him out on the island. Now Paul, he was to try his luck, but he fared just the same. When he had hewn 2 or 3 strokes, they began to see the oak grow, and so the king's men seized him too, and clipped his ears, and put him out on the island. And his ears they clipped closer, because they said he ought to have taken a lesson from his brother. So now Jack was to try. "If you will look like a marked sheep, we're quite ready to clip your ears at once, and then you'll save yourself some bother", said the King, for he was angry with him for his brother's sake. "Well, I'd like just to try first", said Jack, and so he got leave. Then he took his axe out of his wallet and fitted it to its haft. "Hew away", said he to his axe, and away it hewed, making the chips fly again, so that it wasn't long before down came the oak. When that was done, Jack pulled out his spade and fitted it to its handle. "Dig away", said he to the spade. And so the spade began to dig and delve till the earth and rock flew out in splinters, and so he had the well soon dug out, you may think. And when he had got it as big and deep as he chose, Jack took out his walnut and laid it in one corner of the well, and pulled the plug of moss out. "Trickle and run", said Jack, and so the nut trickled and ran, till the water gushed out of the hole in a stream, and in a short time the well was brimful. Then Jack had felled the oak which shaded the King's palace, and dug a well in the palace yard, and so he got the Princess and half the kingdom, as the King had said. But it was lucky for Peter and Paul that they had lost their ears, else they had heard each hour and day how every one said, "Well, after all, Jack wasn't so much out of his mind when he took to wandering." End of section 52. Read by Lars Rolander.